A storm is gathering in Japanese boxing. Not a whisper, not a rumor, a force. A force so sharp, so ruthless, so technically pure that even Naoya, the monster Inoue, might soon feel the tremor of his footsteps echoing across the sport. His name is Junto Nakatani. And make no mistake, this isn't some up-and-coming hopeful chasing the shadow of greatness. No. This is a man born for it. Every punch he throws, every step he takes inside that ring, screams one message loud and clear. Junto Nakatani isn't coming for the crown. He's coming for the throne. That left hand, lightning fast, punishingly accurate. That composure, ice-cold, unflinching, terrifying. And that fight IQ, so precise it feels programmed. While the world has spent years watching Naoya Inoue obliterate divisions, there's been another warrior quietly carving his own empire, a man so calm and surgical that he's earned a nickname whispered with equal parts awe and fear, the Silent Storm. Because Junto Nakatani doesn't just win. He dismantles. He doesn't chase greatness. He engineers it, piece by piece, knockout by knockout. He's tall for his weight class and rangy, but every inch of him is built for destruction. He moves with the patience of a predator, never wasting energy, never losing focus. You watch him and realize, this isn't chaos. This is control disguised as violence. The first time the world truly understood who Junto Nakatani was, came against Maloney. It was supposed to be competitive, two elite fighters meeting at the perfect time. Maloney had experience, grit, and heart. He was supposed to test the young Japanese southpaw. But tests don't go both ways when one man is rewriting the questions. From the opening bell, Nakatani stood tall, stalking with quiet menace. His jab snapped like a whip, the kind of jab that doesn't just touch, it commands. Maloney tried to press, tried to force a brawl, but Nakatani's eyes never blinked. His reactions were instant, his reads effortless. Round 1 was all data. No chaos, no panic, just reconnaissance. Then, slowly, the rhythm changed. By round 2, Nakatani began to close the walls. He doubled his jab, slipped inside, and detonated uppercuts that sent Maloney's head snapping backward. Clean, violent, precise. Then came the moment, the one punch that changed everything. Boom. A perfectly timed uppercut. Maloney went down hard. The crowd gasped, unsure if they'd just seen lightning strike or something far more calculated. Because in that instant, it wasn't luck. It was inevitable. Nakatani had found his weapon. He kept drawing Maloney in, feint low, invite the pressure, and punish with the same uppercut. Again and again. Each time, faster, sharper, crueler. By round 3, Maloney's eye was swelling, his movement slowing, but his heart refused to quit. And that's when the storm turned ruthless. Every time Maloney threw, he got countered clean. Every step forward was met with pain. Nakatani didn't just control distance, he owned it. He fought like a man who knew he could end the night whenever he chose. By the middle rounds, Maloney was running on pride. Nakatani was running on perfection. Then came round 11. The calm before the execution. A long southpaw jab, a faint twitch of movement, and then bang! A straight left hand detonated on Maloney's chin. He crumbled. Somehow, he rose, legs shaking, defiance in his eyes. But defiance means nothing when you're facing precision this pure. Round 12 began, and Nakatani closed the show the only way he knows how, violently. A looping left hand caught Maloney clean, and before his body hit the floor, the outcome was sealed. The silence that followed wasn't shock, it was respect. Junto Nakatani hadn't just beaten Maloney. He had announced his arrival to the world. That night, a silent assassin became Japan's new storm. Most fighters would take time to breathe after a demolition like that. But not Nakatani. His next challenge came in the form of Argie Cortez. Tough, gritty, a man who had gone the distance with elite opposition. But heart and chin only matter until you face someone who can break both. From the opening round, Cortez looked sharp. He jabbed, moved, and tried to test Nakatani's patience. It didn't work. Nakatani began dissecting him with a jab so stiff it looked like a weapon, snapping Cortez's head back again and again, setting traps in plain sight. By round 3, the pace had shifted. Nakatani pressed forward, cutting off the ring and slicing through the defense with pinpoint combinations. His left hand found the target at will, looping shots, straight shots, uppercuts, every variation a message. You can run, but you can't hide. Cortez tried to stand his ground. He tried to answer fire with fire. But against Nakatani, fire only feeds the blaze. By the 5th round, Cortez's body was folding under the pressure. The snap had left his punches. His breathing grew heavy. Nakatani smelled blood. Body shot. Jab. Left upstairs. Cortez hit the deck. He rose, defiant. Seconds later, he was down again. A third knockdown sealed the story, not a lucky punch, but an orchestrated breakdown, crafted by a fighter who blends artistry with savagery. When the final bell rang, Cortez was still standing, but barely. The decision wasn't in doubt. Nakatani had dominated from start to finish. 26 fights. 26 wins. And a growing legend that felt unstoppable. But greatness doesn't rest. And Junto Nakatani's next move was his boldest yet. He was done with junior bantamweight. He wanted bigger prey. He wanted to step into the shadow of Naoya Inoue himself, the weight class where the monster had reigned supreme. Moving up is never easy. The body changes. The rhythm shifts. The opponents hit harder and take punches better. Many greats have been broken by the jump. But Nakatani, he thrives on challenge. When he faced Alejandro Santiago, the reigning WBC champion, the world waited to see if the silent storm could strike as hard in a heavier sky. From the opening seconds, the answer became clear. Nakatani looked comfortable, composed, and effortless. His jab carved through Santiago's guard. His feet glided. Every movement screamed confidence. Santiago, tough and relentless, tried to pressure and tried to close the gap, but Nakatani's control of distance was a masterclass. Still, in round 2, Santiago found success. A few right hands landed flush. The crowd stirred. Maybe, just maybe, the smaller man had cracked the code. But genius doesn't stay cracked for long. Nakatani adjusted mid-fight. His footwork shifted, and his timing tightened. He began to turn Santiago, pivoting off the angles, punching between the guard, breaking him down with cold precision. By round 4, the tide had turned completely. Then came round 5. The hunter smelled fear. Nakatani began to walk Santiago down, stabbing jabs to the body, ripping left hands up top, and controlling every inch of the canvas. His punches weren't wild. They were methodical, deliberate, and heavy. And then in round 6, the storm hit. A perfect straight left, clean as glass, detonated on Santiago's chin. The champion went down hard. He tried to rise, legs betraying him, courage refusing to quit. Seconds later, another Nakatani missile, this time a right hook, connected flush. Santiago fell again. The referee had seen enough. It was over. Junto Nakatani had just become the WBC bantamweight champion of the world. Another division conquered. Another mountain turned to rubble. He didn't just move up. He took over. And now, the whispers have grown into a roar. Because there's only one name left to test the legend of Junto Nakatani. One man whose presence defines Japanese boxing, Naoya Inoue. 2 warriors. 2 knockout artists. 2 men who represent perfection in completely different ways. Inoue, compact, explosive, ruthless. Every punch a missile, every combination a symphony of destruction. He's conquered every division he's touched, left champions shattered, and carved his name among the greatest to ever live. But Nakatani, he's a different kind of nightmare. Taller, longer, naturally bigger. A southpaw with a laser-guided left hand and the patience of a surgeon. He doesn't need chaos to win. He creates order in violence. He breaks you slowly, clinically, until there's nothing left to fight back with. And stylistically, it's the fight purists dream of. Inoue thrives on aggression. He wants you to come forward, to test your courage against his timing. But Nakatani doesn't rush. He dictates. He sets traps. He keeps you guessing, always half a beat behind, always reacting instead of leading. His jab could disrupt Inoue's rhythm. His reach could nullify those deadly body shots. His power could force even the monster to hesitate. Because when Nakatani lands, he doesn't need many. His shots are heavy, thudding, and soul-draining. But let's not forget, Inoue is no ordinary man. He's a phenom, a destroyer, a generational talent whose aura alone breaks opponents before the first punch lands. To beat him, you need more than skill, you need conviction. You need to believe you belong in the same storm. And if anyone in the world does, it's Junto Nakatani. The thought of these two facing each other feels like something out of a myth, the monster and the silent storm. Two forces on a collision course, destined to define an era of Japanese boxing. Inoue's compact ferocity against Nakatani's cold precision. Explosive chaos against disciplined destruction. The technician and the Terminator. And when that day comes, when the lights dim, the crowd roars, and Japan holds its breath, it won't just be a fight. It'll be a clash of philosophies. Because to truly understand Junto Nakatani, you have to look beyond the knockouts. His power is obvious, but his genius lies in the small things, the timing, the angles, and the subtle shifts in footwork that make him untouchable. He's balanced on a knife's edge, calm but dangerous, fluid but forceful. He never wastes a punch, never chases. He waits and reads, and when he strikes, it's over before you can process it. That's why he's special. That's why he's terrifying. He's a technician disguised as a destroyer. A scientist wearing the gloves of a killer. Every movement has intent. Every silence has weight. And when you look into those cold eyes, you realize he's not fighting his opponent. He's studying him, calculating the end before the story even begins. Now, with a bantamweight title around his waist and an undefeated record carved in stone, Junto Nakatani stands on the edge of something historic. He's conquered flyweight. He's conquered super flyweight. He's conquered bantamweight. And the horizon ahead holds only one name worth chasing. Naoya Inoue. The king and the shadow. The monster and the storm. One represents dominance through devastation. The other, mastery through precision. Both born from the same island, both fueled by the same warrior code. If it happens, and it must happen, it will be more than just a fight. It'll be a statement to the world. Japan is not just producing champions, it's producing legends. Imagine it, Tokyo Dome, lights blazing, two icons walking toward destiny. One defending his throne, the other demanding it. Every heartbeat in the crowd syncing with the rhythm of the ring. Every punch echoing through history. Because when the bell rings and those two finally meet, the sport itself will hold its breath. For now, though, Junto Nakatani continues his quiet reign. No theatrics. No noise. Just pure, unrelenting excellence. He doesn't need to tell you he's great. He shows you. He doesn't chase attention. He commands respect. He's not just beating men, he's dismantling them. Every jab a lesson. Every knockout is a warning. Andrew Maloney, Argie Cortez, and Alejandro Santiago, each one stepped in believing they could hang. Each one left broken, their names added to a list that's growing faster than the sport can keep up. Because Nakatani doesn't fight for fame. He fights for perfection. And perfection, as history shows, always ends in legacy. So remember this moment. Remember the calm before the chaos. Because soon, the world will witness a battle unlike anything Japan has ever seen. Naoya Inoue, the monster. Junto Nakatani, the silent storm. Two paths destined to collide. And when they do, one will stand. One will fall. But both will be remembered. Because legends aren't born in Japan, they're forged. Forged in fire. Forged in blood. Forged in the storm. And somewhere, deep in that storm, Junto Nakatani is waiting, patient, precise, and ready to make the monster bleed.